As-salaam wa-alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Year 3 of the 17 Verses podcast. I'm your host, Maher Haq. In this podcast, we take a small selection from the Quran every day and recite it to you in plain English, so you can get a small slice of God's Word while you go about your day. By averaging 17 verses per day, we're able to break the Quran down into manageable pieces and finish it in 1 year. If you enjoyed the podcast, please help spread the word. Tell your friends and family, subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher, and write us a review. Today's selection is from Surah 2, Al-Baqarah, or the Cow, verses 236 through 248. These verses give commandments relating to dowry in the case of divorce, guarding one's prayers, executing a last will and testament, fighting in the path of Allah without the fear of death, and lastly, the beginning of a story about the Israelites and their king Talüt, or Saul. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. There is no blame on you if you divorce women before the marriage is consummated or the dowry is settled. Pay them something anyhow, the rich man according to his means and the poor according to his, a reasonable amount in all fairness. This is an obligation on the righteous people. And if you divorce them before the marriage is consummated, but after the fixation of a dowry, give them half their dowry unless the woman wants to waive it, or the man in whose hand is the marriage tie agrees to forego and pay the dowry in full. To forego and pay the dowry in full is closer to piety. Do not forget to show kindness to each other. Surely Allah observes your actions. Guard your prayers, especially the middle prayer, and stand up to true devotion in Allah. If you are in danger, pray on foot or while riding, and when you are safe, remember Allah in the manner that He has taught you, which you did not know before. Those of you who die and leave widows should bequeath for them a year's maintenance without causing them to leave their homes. But if they leave the residence on their own, there is no blame on you for what they chose for themselves in a fair way. Remember, Allah is mighty and wise. Reasonable provisions must also be made for divorced women. That is an obligation upon those who fear Allah. That's how Allah makes His revelations clear to you so that you may understand. Have you reflected on the case of thousands of people, in this case the Israelites, who fled their homes for fear of death? Allah said to them, "Die," and gave them death. Then He gave them life again. Surely Allah is bountiful to mankind, but most of the people are ungrateful. O believers, fight in the path of Allah without fear of death, and bear in mind that Allah hears and knows everything. Who will loan to Allah a beautiful loan, which Allah will increase many-fold? Allah alone can increase and decrease wealth, and to Him you all shall return. Have you not reflected on what the leaders of the children of Israel demanded from one of their prophets after the death of Moses? "Appoint for us a king," they said, "and we will fight in the cause of Allah." The prophet replied, "What if you refuse to fight when you are ordered to do so?" They replied, "How could we refuse to fight in the cause of Allah while we along with our children were driven out of our homes?" But when, on their demand, they were ordered to fight, all refused except a few of them. Allah knows the evildoers. Their prophet told them, "Allah has appointed Talüt, or Saul, to be your king." They replied, "How can he be our king when some of us are more deserving than him? Besides, he is not rich." The prophet said, "Allah has chosen him to rule over you, and blessed him with knowledge and stature. Allah grants kingship to whom He pleases, and Allah has boundless knowledge." Furthermore, their prophet told them, "The sign of his appointment as a king is that there will come to you the chest in which there is tranquility from your Lord, and the residue of relics which the family of Moses and the family of Aaron left behind, and that chest will be carried by the angels. Surely therein is a sign for you, if you are true believers." Ameen. This concludes today's episode of the 17 Verses podcast. I hope that this selection helps increase your understanding of the Holy Quran just a little bit. If you like the podcast, you can subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher and write us a review. Or you can grab the RSS feed and put it into your own podcast app. The show notes, including a text version of this episode, can be found by going to 17verses.com. That's the numbers 17, VERSES.com. Thank you, and be well.